Hello guys, and welcome back to another cold episode. On today's episode, we are back with some more Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links action, and as you can tell by the title and the thumbnail, we are revisiting an archetype that we've already visited, as well as multiple of them. So, let me real quick show you the deck. A good name for this could be something like The Pile, which there was one of those very similarly in the TCG, where it was basically just like all good cards, just all of the good cards that had slight synergy with each other. Let's just put them all in a deck. That's kind of what's going on here. So we've got Chaos Dragon Levianeer, we've got a bunch of lights, we've got a bunch of darks in the form of Star Seraphs and Lightsworns for lights, and then Orcusts for darks. And then we've got a whole bunch of ways to mill cards through charge, orchestrated return, solar recharge, etc., etc. But yeah, let me explain the deck real quick. First of all, we're using Spell Specialist as the skill. The skill just allows you, if you have 5 or more spell cards with different names, allows you to have a more likely chance of starting with a spell card in your hand. It's not guaranteed, but it's more likely. And all of our spells are pretty good. If you don't have Book of Moon, there are actually 2 cards that are better that you could use instead. So, both of them are level up rewards. The first one is Monster Gate from... Nope, not you. From the Paradox Brothers. It is the level 35... Let me get to it. Level 35, you can use Monster Gate. You tribute a monster to excavate to the top cards of your deck until you excavate a monster that can be normal, summoned, or set. Special summon it. So, it's pretty good. It allows you to get a bunch of cards into the graveyard, or just, you know, send a card to the graveyard as well. So, that one's pretty good. Just kind of like another mill card. And the other one is actually from Axel Brody. It is the level 45 one, Volcanic Wall, which sends the top 3 cards of the deck to the graveyard, but then you can't declare an attack that turn. However, if you use it on the first turn, there's basically no downside, right? So, you can mill more cards, and allows you to get more cards into the graveyard. So, if you don't have Book of Moon, use those. Use those instead, okay? Simple as that, okay? Let's go back to the deck list real quick. It's gonna make me do that. Okay. So, with that, you could switch out the Books of Moon for that. You could also switch out a Solar Recharge or something like that as well. You could switch out, you know, another Raiden. You probably only need 2. This is entirely up to you. If you have the 3rd Star Seraph, use it. I do, but when I played this deck, I didn't. So I'm only gonna be showing you with 2. All in all, I don't actually think that you need the 3rd stick, nor even like the 3rd chair. I think it's nice when you have this combo in your starting hand, but oftentimes they'll just get milled and be a light target for your Chaos Dragon Levianeer. If you don't know what Levianeer does, there you go. You can pause the video at any point. Read it. It's really good. Yeah, milling a wolf is really good. It allows you to special summon it onto the field. Milling an Orcust Harp Horror allows you to special summon this guy onto the field. Milling a Symbol Skeleton with an Orcust Harp Horror on the field is really good as well, because as you can see by the extra deck, we're running a lot of level 4s. Whoops. We're running a lot of level 4 XZs, right? And specifically, a lot of level 4 XZs that require 3, right? Ouroboros and Deltaros are both really good. They're more so for the stick and share combo, but you can summon them through other ways. But basically, yeah, that's the whole idea of the deck, is look at all these level 4s that we have that we can summon from the graveyard, or just normal summon, or what have you, in order to go into things like Abyss Dweller or Ouroboros. This Tsukiyomi is also really good because it allows you to send cards to the graveyard to draw cards. Pretty good, right? And then, you know, the main big baddie is Chaos Dragon Levianeer. There you go. I also added in Black Rose, Scrap Dragon, and the level 8 Hieratic Sun Dragon Overlord of Heliopolis. Just because I noticed that I tended to have like a tuner and then a level 3 on the field, and I was like, well, this kind of sucks. A Black Rose would be really nice right here. Or like, you know, oh, sometimes I don't want to go into an Abyss Dweller or a Tsukiyomi, so let's go for Scrap Dragon, right? Or, and then that gets them off of the field rather than sitting underneath the XZ as material. So there's that. Let's hop into some replays and show you how this deck actually works. Alright, here we are up against Yami Yugi. As Yami Yugi, it is a mirror match. Oh. This guy's face haunts my nightmares. He is everywhere in Duel Links because he's got just the best skills. Anyway, we see him going first. He's going to activate Cyber Dark Cannon and grab himself a Cyber Dark Edge. Haven't seen this in a long time, but he's using Machinas in order to get to make the Cyber Darks a bit better. Interesting. But overall, not that formidable of a board. However, we drew like crap. We drew a Levianeer. We drew a Wolf, which does nothing in the hand, because it can't be normal summoned. We also drew a Raiden. That's okay. Let's see what we mill. And then we drew 2 Orchestrated Returns, which don't do anything. So we did end up milling. We milled 3 lights and a dark, so Levianeer is now active. And we do survive. Luckily, we survive. But let's see how this turns out. We draw a Solar Recharge off the top and draw into the Stick and Chair combo. However, 1, 2 sticks are in the 2 chairs are in the graveyard, meaning this combo is dead. However, I'm going to summon the Sovereignty anyway, because it draws us a card. We drew into Melody of the Awakening Dragon. Guess what? That's triple Levianeer. Now, we're going to banish 2 lights in the dark, summon up Levianeer, non-targeting. So he's going to fire off that Karma Cut and banish the Levianeer. And guess what? That doesn't matter. We're going to pop his 2 cards, and then we're going to banish 3 lights, because it doesn't matter at this point. We're not going to use its effect. Then we're going to swing in and attack for lethal. Yes, you can attack, or sorry, you can summon multiple Levianeers. However, you can only use 1 Levianeer effect per turn. But it's still a 3,000 beater. Just beat your opponent over the head with a giant dragon. Alright, this time we are up against Seto Kaiba. Anime battle. Well, it starts out of the dimensions, so it's not quite too anime. Anyway, we are playing up against a 9-card extra deck with Ultimate Dragons, meaning he's missing 1. Also, he's running 23 cards randomly. Kind of weird, but hey, we're running 30. We also draw nothing. We drew terribly. This is a terrible hand. We have no plays. We can technically get 3 Levianeer in our hand with 1 light in the grave, but overall, I'm very glad we go second because we at least draw a Symbol Skeleton, which allows us to set it and not just immediately die. So we're going to set it, and we're going to pass. He's going to activate his, or he's going to summon his Blue Eyes Alternative White Dragon. He's going to pop a card, then he's going to Synchro Summon into a Vermilion Dragon Mech, and swing in for 27. I don't know why he didn't go into Spirit Dragon, but he didn't. However, with that, we don't have anything. However, we do draw a Solar Recharge off of the top, allowing us to get all of the cards we need into the graveyard. We banish 3 to activate Chaos Dragon Levianeer. Now, here's something interesting. Since Chaos Dragon Levianeer doesn't target, he fires off the Floodgate. Our guy is going to get flipped down. However, on resolution, we target ourselves. We pop ourselves the Chaos Dragon Levianeer and send ourselves to the graveyard so that we can then summon a second Chaos Dragon Levianeer, and then we're going to set the chair that we happened to draw into just for added protection. He rips his card and surrenders. Bada bing, bada boom, Levianeer for game. Alright, here we are up against Seto Kaiba from Dark Side of Dimensions once again. And, hey, if we win, we'll level up. This was all done in the KC Cup format, so it's a bit different, but hey. No Ultimate Dragons, but he does activate Bingo Machine Go, and we're going to give him one of the Dragon Spirits of White. Why do I know that? Because it gets summoned later, and there was a high likelihood that that was probable. Now, our starting hand was really dead. We needed to draw an Orcust card. We did happen to draw an Orcust card, and that got our entire combo started. We drew into the stick. We already had the chair, so now we get the full stick and chair combo. So we're going to pop off here. We're going to draw a whole bunch of cards. We're going to add a card to our hand. We're going to summon it again, draw another card. We're going to draw into the Melody of the Awakening Dragon. Melody of the Awakening Dragon, discard a card to get ourselves the other two Chaos Dragon Levianeers. Then we are going to XZ summon it into Deltaros. Now, Deltaros, when it is summoned, your opponent can't respond to it. So, with Star Seraph's effect, to pop a card when it is used as XZ material, Deltaros can't be responded to, so you just get to pop a card without them being able to respond. It's insane. It's a really, really good combo, so that's why you go into Deltaros here, and it basically just wipes out their field. Now, I knew that their back row was something that they could activate, so that's why I went into Deltaros. Normally, I would just go into Ouroboros. It's much better overall, but I knew that the back row was something. So, anyway, we're going to pop a whole bunch of cards. He set a Kid Moto Dragon, so he summons up his Dragon Spirit of White. Bada bing, bada boom. We're going to banish 3 in order to summon up our Chaos Dragon Levianeer, and he surrenders. Alright, guys, here we are up against Maximilian Pegasus going first, and oddly enough, they don't have an extra deck. Kind of weird balance. Well, okay, let's see what happens. We're gonna start off with the charge of the Light Brigade. We're going to mill a bunch of cards. We're gonna grab ourselves a Raiden. Raiden is then going to mill more cards, and then we're gonna mill an Orcust Harp Horror. And so Orcust Harp Horror is going to allow us to get into our level 3 Orcust Simple Skeleton. Now, we did happen to mill a Wolf. However, because of this Orcust Harp Horror's effect locking us into Darks, it prevents us from actually summoning the Wolf, so it just gets to sit in the graveyard. Now, I don't have anything in my extra deck, as you can see. We don't have any level 7s for a Synchro summon, so we just kind of sit on this. However, you'll see that that actually ends up being really good for us in a second. But we see that Triamids are able to go off. They do their thing. We draw into a Solar Recharge. We activate Solar Recharge. We then banish 3 in order to summon up our first Chaos Dragon Levianeer. We're going to pop 2 cards non-targeting. However, they are going to activate the effect of their Hunter in order to switch the Triamid King Golem for a Fortress. We're going to pop the Fortress and the set back row. The set back row was a Triamid Pulse, so that was a very, very good hit, because as soon as 2 of their cards are in the graveyard, either 2 rocks or 2 field spells, they can start popping cards. They can start doing a whole bunch of things. So, yeah, good thing we prevented that. Anyway, we actually draw into the Melody of the Awakening Dragon, so we're going to activate the Melody of the Awakening Dragon and get our 3rd Chaos Dragon Levianeer. And guess what? We have the graveyard material to banish 9 different cards for 3 separate Chaos Dragon Levianeers. He's got 1 card in hand. That could be a Sphinx. If that's a Sphinx, I'm real sad. But overall, we've got 3 Chaos Dragon Levianeers on the field, and we're just going to attack. We're just going to attack him. What's he gonna do, right? He just sets a card, passes, and there we have it, lethal. We draw a Book of Moon. I didn't even feel like setting it. Wasn't that big of a deal. And we win. Triple Chaos Dragon Levianeer in 1 turn with this deck. That's insane. So, real quick, I want to mention that this deck is really fun, first of all. If we're gonna talk about this deck, it is super fun. It's really cool to be able to, like, mill a whole bunch of cards and draw through a whole bunch of cards using Orchestrated Return and Solar Recharge. Now, Solar Recharge, it does not have a once per turn clause, but Orchestrated Return does. So, do keep that in mind. And, of course, you can use other cards to draw or to mill or what have you, right? So, there's that. I love the Star Seraph and Star Seraph Scepter and Sovereignty combo, the stick and chair combo. I think it's really cool. I love being able to actually use Wolf. It's in its intended form, right? Whereas like you're milling it to the graveyard just to summon it, right? The only thing is, I do think that you need synchros, and I put in the level 8 XZ. You don't need to use it. but I like it. I noticed that, again, I had multiple level 8s, including something like World Wand, on the field at once, and so I was like, it might be useful, and I didn't see myself using anything other than literally Deltaros and Ouroboros ever. If you don't have Ouroboros, one Deltaros is fine. Like, you know, a Deltaros Abyss Dweller is also pretty good. Again, the Tsukiyomi is pretty fun. So, all in all, it's a really fun deck. It's a really interesting deck, and yeah, I got this from duellinksmeta.com, obligatory duellinksmeta.com. Plug right here. Go check that out if you want to check out cool deck ideas and stuff like that and try them out for yourselves. That's normally where I get a lot of these interesting ideas from, and then I make it my own in whatever way I can. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you guys did indeed enjoy. If you did, a like is very much so appreciated, and if you want to check out more content like this, as well as more decks like this, excuse me, then just be sure to subscribe. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and remember to always stay frosty. Bye-bye.